Welcome to Real Estate Coaching Radio, starring award-winning real estate coaches and #1 international best-selling authors, Tim and Julie Harris. Real Estate Coaching Radio is the nation's #1 daily radio show for realtors who demand authentic, real-time coaching. Get ready for fluff-free, unfiltered, full-strength honesty about what's truly working to get you into action, helping others, and making money now in today's real estate market. Now to our hosts, Tim and Julie Harris.
3, 2, 1, and we are back. It is November the 9th. We are going to pick up where we left off last week. I really like this topic. We were talking about the fact that there are certain action items that all of you guys should be doing in preparation for your new year. So we're going to go through, I think, point number 4 through probably 6 today. And the feedback so far on these points that Julie and I have been sharing with you guys has been fantastic. So I appreciate the fact that so many of you, and Julie, we're right there on point number 4. I'm appreciating the fact that so many of you are open to the fact that 2021 will be, not could be, not might be, but will be your best year ever. And so these drill down points are, I think, cutting through a lot of the malaise that's out there that comes at the end of every year, but especially at the end of a year like this.
Yeah, that's right. The week that lasts the year. Yeah. And some of these points are more mindset-ish, I think. And some of them, I mean, they're all action-oriented. You can't be passive about any of this. But now is a good time to be introspective and really get your head screwed on straight for next year. I like to think of this time of year as the prequel to next year, as if next year had 5 quarters, not 4, and that this is not an overly ramp up. I don't want this to be like a getting ready to get started to someday start next year. I want this to be a productive quarter that is essentially your 5th quarter starting next year.
That's right. And along those lines, a couple things. Julie and I are going to be presenting at the EXP convention this Thursday. So those of you who are in EXP, if you're not even on EXP, I'm going to post a link so you guys can watch us present. That's going to be taking place virtually, actually, so there's no need to worry about traveling anywhere. EXP being an online, obviously, brokerage and licensed in all 50 states and soon be in dozens of different countries. This convention that started today is quite miraculous to see. So much, it's kind of, I don't know how to, it's amazing and weird to be at a virtual, essentially a convention, and you're seeing all these people, these thousands of people that are there as well. And what's really shocking to me is how immersive it is. By immersive, I mean, like, you would think just the way I described it to you that how could that possibly be something that feels real? But yet when you're watching it, you're starting to, like, sort of your brain starts to meld with the idea that it's virtual. And I don't know, maybe Elon Musk is actually right. We're just all living in a hologram.
Could be.
I don't know, but it's pretty cool. So I'm gonna share a link with all of you guys so you can attend even if you're not in EXP, and we'll put that on the main website, timandjulieharris.com. And also, a quick reminder to all of you, we are, of course, going to make our real estate treasure map available to all of you for free. This is the fill-in-the-blank business plan. The easiest way for you to get that is to join the free coaching program. And if you've not yet done so, text the word survival to 31996. Text the word survival to 31996. And we are also actually going to be creating a whole bunch of new exciting products for all of you guys. Julie and I are big fans of planners. And so we're going to be working on, hopefully with one of these big planner companies, we're going to be working with creating a planner for all of you guys that's geared specifically to real estate success. So that's something that you should all look forward to. And Julie, those planners are actually, some of them are incredibly complicated, which I know I would never personally use. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It can't be so complicated that you are demotivated.
Right. Stickers, pens, ribbons, seeing eye dogs,
well, they're
breadcrumbs.
geared towards different people, though, right? So there's people that are more of kind of the journaling, scrapbooking type might like that sort of thing because it's more creative.
That's what it looks like.
And then you have other ones that are sheer business journals that are, keeping you on to specific financial goals and things like that. So, you really have to take a look at those, but I think it's a good tool.
Our real estate treasure map, in essence, acts as a planner when you fill out the complete business plan. So just text the word survival to 31996. Text the word survival to 31996. And when you do, we do text you back a link to join the free coaching program. And the free coaching program then gives you instant access to a daily semi-private coaching call. And that's something, obviously, this time of year, really any time of year, but this time of year especially, you really need to have, because we're going to get you moving. We're not going to, we're going to do everything in our power to educate you, motivate you, and get you into action. So you're not rebuilding momentum into next year. So you actually have a headwind when you're moving into next year. And just to be clear, this free coaching program is a whisper of the normal coaching program. The normal coaching program offers like 100% more content, more everything. But if you're not yet in the Premier Coaching Program and you want to experience the free coaching program, which is a whisper of the Premier Coaching Program, just text the word survival to 31996. Text the word survival to 31996. All right, so Julie, point number 4. And I had received several emails about point number 4. This is where I got the inspiration for this point. Mm-hmm. And again, this is really about how to 100x your mindset about how you think and believe about yourself, what you think and believe about yourself. And point number 4 comes in a bunch of different iterations. I'm just going to read it to you. And then I think as I read these words, guys, please allow the words to bounce around in your brain and just notice how you feel, because that's really going to be the clearest indicator of whether or not this point is really relevant to you. And I'll tell you what I look for when I'm hearing something that is that I feel any sort of resistance towards, then I know that generally speaking, that's where my growth needs to be. So where you feel the resistance is probably where you need to be expanding your thinking, expanding your education. Here's point number 4. Stop lying to yourself about what you are. Stop lying to yourself that you're too old or too young. Stop lying to yourself that you're not educated enough. Stop lying to yourself that you waited too long. Stop lying to yourself that you're not lucky enough. And here's the assignment for this. I thought this would be a really efficient way for you guys to root all this out of your heads. Write down all the reasons you can't succeed. I know, it's anti-mindset, right? Don't write down the words. You're going to attract the words to you. Nope, the words are bouncing around your head. So I want you to take that on as a serious assignment. Write down all the reasons why you can't succeed. Make a list. Don't stop until you've exhausted everything in your head that's floating right in your head about yourself. And be ruthless. So if there's some real sort of critical words and terms and thoughts you have about yourself, write them all down. And once you've written all those things down, and if you all of a sudden take a pause, you don't feel like writing anymore, write some more. Get all the negative thoughts you have about yourself and your potential, get it all on paper. And then what you're going to notice is that the things aren't real. None of them are real. It's just head junk. And Julie, what's that way of going through the process of going through to determining whether something is true or not?
Yeah, you ask yourself, is it actually true? Can I prove that it's undeniably true?
So what she's saying is when you come across one of these thoughts you have about yourself, you want to run it through a set of filters. These are the filters that you use. Do it again. I'm sorry.
Is it real?
Right.
Okay. Is it absolutely true? Who am I because I believe this thing to be true? And who would I be if I decided that it was no longer true?
Right.
So, and as you were going through that, I've done this exercise with lots of coaching clients over the years. We have a little bit of fun with this. You get the first step on this, which is write it all down. And that comes down to I'm too busy. Some people, you wrote down I'm not smart enough. Some people think they're too smart for this business. They're overeducated. Why do they have to do this? Okay, so write down all of that kind of head junk. And it's okay if you fill up the whole page. Maybe some of you only have 2 or 3 hangups, but some of you will write on both sides of the page. And then you read that out loud. That's part of the process, is hearing yourself, what you sound like. Because most of the time this is in your head.
Right.
And you don't really realize it. But when you have to say it out loud, I'm too smart, I'm too dumb, I'm too young, I'm too educated or not educated enough, you kind of detect your own BS a little bit. And then here's the fun part, okay? You're going to make a copy of this and give it to an accountability partner, put it on your own fridge. And if somebody catches you using this, they're going to call you out on it to train you to stop doing it. The other thing that we do that's fun is we actually rip up the original page and we flush it down the toilet. That way, anytime you're thinking those thoughts, I'm too fat, I'm too old, I'm too young, whatever, you actually think of the toilet bowl.
It is a fascinating, I'll say the number of emails I've been receiving recently have been people that are coming from a lack of education. I've been getting a lot of this. And I've been getting a lot of people that are discovering our podcast, reading our book, and joining our coaching program, where I think that they're reigniting a fire that they haven't felt in a generation or 2 or 10. That's the vibe I'm getting from a lot of the messaging I'm getting. And I think that's a really good...
that's exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting. And because at the end of the day, guys, there is no... You're too old when you're dead. That's really the only answer, right? And as far as all these other things, none of those things are really true. We live in an age of so many gifts. You guys are living on... We're all living on this planet together, and probably what will be, in what always has been maybe the greatest industry ever. You've got a real estate license. You've got opportunities at so many different learning, ways to learn how to build your business. Just pay attention to what we're telling you. Read our book. You have so many clear paths forward. All you've got to do is choose one. And the one you choose is, hopefully going to be the one that's going to teach you how to be a listing agent the quickest, our coaching program. Sorry if that's too overt of a pitch for you guys, but that is how we feel. Because at the end of the day, guys, what makes it so that you're, essentially profitable in the long run in this business is if you're listings based. Being buyers, depending on buyers, especially in a turbulent market we're entering into, it's going to be largely an exercise in futility. Go back and listen to past podcasts on that. Of course, buyers are an integral part of the, real estate industry. But at the end of the day, build the muscles to become a powerful listing agent. Because on the other side of that, you have freedom. And as far as limiting beliefs about being a listing agent, how many of you were told that you have to somehow toil away endless, weekends and evenings for years and years and years working with buyers, and then the only time you can really meander into being a listing agent is when one of those buyers decides to put their house for sale? Or maybe you get a referral, or you just meander into a lucky piece of business when your Uncle Bob decides to whatever, right? That's how most of you think about being listing agents. You aren't intentional about becoming a listing agent. You're passive about becoming a listing agent. What happens if you decide to intentionally focus on being listing agents? We have thousands of coaching clients that have approached our coaching business with the sole intention of making it so they are listings based, and that's the quickest way to earn back your freedom and frankly run a very profitable business. You don't have to be a certain age to do that. You don't have to have a certain level of education. You are educated enough, as far as prior to receiving coaching, you've got a real estate license. That's what you legally need. So write down that list and actually start thinking about the fact that none of those things you think about yourself, especially the negative thoughts really, are true. They're just nicely little planted seeds that have maybe started to take root in your brain over generations that really, if you were to identify what those are, don't empower them. Don't start thinking about why you think the way you think, which leads me perfectly into point number 5. Don't start trying to Dr. Phil or psychoanalyze yourself, because it is a bottomless pit of unanswered questions. The best way for you to work on your mindset is, point number 5, stop working on your mindset. And I know this is counterintuitive, but the problem is effort leads to mindset. Mindset rarely leads to effort. And I want you to think about that. A lot of you guys have fallen into the trap into believing that you need to have some sort of, strong mindset, strong vision board, vision quest, your one thing, all these little catchy sort of, I don't even know what to call them mostly, feel-good things. And you spend so much time looking for your passion. And at the end of the day, you don't accomplish anything except you're working more on your mindset. Your mindset becomes the thing that you do, and there's no results that come as a result of that because there's no actions. If you want to have a powerful mindset, here's the simplest way. And listen to what your coach is telling you, okay? Because what I'm telling you is the stone cold truth. You get into action. You learn how to be of service to others. You get into action. And then your mindset will become more positive, become more powerful. You cannot really have a real powerful, positive mindset by not getting into action. By helping other people and making money, you will start to feel different about yourself and the world around you. You cannot do it the opposite direction. I know you've been told for generations that you're supposed to be working on your mindset first, then the successful follow. Clearly, that's not true. Your emotional state is dependent on your physical state, not the other way around. If you aren't feeling a certain way, get into action. Do stuff.
Do stuff. Take action. Do something.
I mean,
I don't know why this comes into my brain all the time, but I think it's because often when we're coaching this, we talk about how complacency is not your friend. There's lots of things in life that you can, let's say that you put a bag of potatoes in your pantry and it's dark in there. You kind of forget about them, Eventually, it's going to smell funny in there, and you're going to realize that first they started to grow a little bit, and then they turned into mold. It's gross. What you mean? I could talk myself, mindset-wise, every single waking day of my life into not going to the gym. And I could convince myself that, maybe I'm just not motivated enough to do it, but I make myself do it because I know the action has to lead. You must lead with the action. And the other thing that comes into my mind is one of Rory's one-liners that really just covers this. If you're having a mindset issue, go take a great new listing. You'll be over it. You'll be over it. Yeah. He'll say, how much better will you feel when you just go take a listing? And then he'd storm off. But you know what? He was right.
He was right, because that's getting into action. And he was right. The action you want to get into is taking a damn listing.
Yeah, and it is related to, I think sometimes people don't set goals and don't find their motivation because they didn't take that action, and that makes it harder for them to think bigger. Right? Because they're kind of like stuck in their own zone.
It's because it's convoluted, because they're working on their mindset And they think, because people have lied to them, frankly, that when you work on your mindset, you attract what you want in life. Now, let's skip the first part and let's just go to going after what you want in life. Yeah. And then notice how your mindset follows.
That's right. And by the way, the clock is ticking, right? You can't just get away with that forever. Your mindset will actually get worse because you'll get more and more financially unstable.
Yep.
And because you'll be so far out of the habits that it takes for success that the climb back to it becomes longer and longer.
So you want to have the most powerful mindset in the world, get a tattoo of this on your arm. Do what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it at the highest level. That's what Julie just described, going to the gym. That's what most real work is. It's doing what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it at the highest level. Mm-hmm. All right, next point is point number 6, and we'll go through this point relatively quick. And I like point number 7. Let's try to get through these 2 points today, okay? Yep. So point number 6 is your physicality matters. We're not going to talk a lot about this. We're your business coaches. All of you guys know this. There's so many different people that are, beating the physicality and being in good physical condition into your head. But the reality of it is, it goes back to the previous point. It's the action thing. So if you're not feeling motivated, go on a 15-minute walk. Get a Peloton. Do something that's going to cause your body to get into action. Getting into action, everything on the other side of that, when your energy starts flowing, when your creativity starts being, essentially manifested at a higher level, when you start feeling more in tune with who you are, who you want to be, and then what follows are the actions, because you naturally feel like taking actions because of the fact that you've changed your physicality. And then what follows is your mindset changes. Mm-hmm. You've realized you've cracked the code. Mindset comes last. So definitely consider, every single one of you, Julie and I even, could be taking your physicality, your physical condition to the next level. Have that as a personal challenge, or at least consider it to be a personal challenge for 2021. It could just start with changing your diet. It could start with, obviously, a minimal amount, if not an hour. Julie and I exercise for usually about an hour and a half a day. And that's what we do.
On purpose, not just like walking around. I'm sure that we have thousands of steps walking around on calls, but that we don't even count that.
No. So, and that's something we don't ever, the exercise I never feel like doing, to Julie's earlier point. Nope. But your physicality matters. I know that matters because I have more energy, and that is, in order for me to accomplish what, I want in my life and you want in your life, listeners, you have to have energy, and that's where it comes from. It's point number 7, and this one's another one of those counterintuitive points, but I love it. Stop believing
believing that you have to, quote, feel passionate or have passion in order to be successful. Boy, we hear about this too much from you guys. Passion is a temporary emotion. Even those of you who do have maybe what you'd say is a more, natural passion for the business, it's still not every day, every second, every minute. Lack of passion is the excuse used by a lot of people to quit too soon, or worse, to never get started in the first place. Oh, I'm just not passionate about it. I got news for you. There's not a single kindergartner in the world who, when asked, what do you want to do when you grow up, said, I want to sell real estate. You don't even know about it then, okay? You were passionate about being an astronaut back then, okay? So it's normal to feel this way, but those of you who are listening who are really successful have gotten out of your own way, and you know that the passion that you have is the result of helping lots of people at a high level, so that you can have passion about the results, which would be your income, allowing you to do what you want to do in life. Well,
so there it is. Did you guys listen to what she just said? Have passion for what comes as a result of you having done what you didn't want to do when you didn't want to do it at the highest level. Have passion for the results you get for other people. But if that doesn't even do it for you, which some of you it won't, have passion for the things you can do for your family. Have passion for the hobbies that can be paid for as a result of your efforts. Those are where your passions are going to be, because the passion and all these emotion words are temporary. And if your success and your taking action is predicated on an emotional state that is fleeting at best, then you're never going to take long-term action. You will never do what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it at the highest level. That is the truth. So stop using lack of passion in something as an excuse not to do it. And that is what Julie said. That is the ultimate killer of so many people that had potential, is they feel like, I had passion for this and I just don't have passion for it anymore. I can't do it anymore because I just lost my passion for it. Whereas the reality of it is they're giving up too soon. They haven't accepted the fact that everything they want in life comes from
doing what you don't want to do when you don't want to do it at the highest level. And we've been talking a lot over the past podcast about that highest level part, not just, calling it in. Yeah, you have to get started, but also do it at the highest level. Don't just, make your calls to get through them. Make your calls to set appointments, which will lead then to closings, okay? So you do have to spend a bit more effort doing all of these things on purpose instead of just giving it lip service. I've got to get to Premier.
You do.
Of taking good care
You do
of
have to
people.
get Premier. Yes. And if you guys are in the Premier coaching program, make sure you attend live. Julie's doing the session herself today. And thank you, Julie. And in the meantime, if you guys want to talk to us about joining EXP, we're going to be talking a lot about EXP after the EXP convention is over, because they have a ton of announcements that are coming out. Some truly exciting, amazing things are happening with that company. I know a lot of you guys are looking to, I'll use the word passion since we were just using it as a term, but what you're looking to do, as our good friend Gene Frederick often says, you're looking to make real estate fun again. You're looking to basically discover something that, along with your own ambitions, is going to, put rocket fuel in your own potential. And that's what EXP Realty has become for so many people. Because they have an ability to create income from multiple streams, not just real estate transactions. That makes a huge difference in how farther down the road you're going to be financially in 12 months. If EXP Realty is on your radar, well, it should be on everyone's radar, and you want to talk to Julie and I about joining our EXP team, please feel free to contact me directly. Just text me, 512-758-0206. 512-758-0206. In the meantime, if you guys need us for anything, we're always reading and paying attention to what you say. We really appreciate your feedback on the show. We appreciate it even when you say things you didn't like. I mean, one of the reasons we avoid politics is because we're always going to offend somebody, so we don't talk about politics. We don't need to draw attention to ourselves by being trendy about the various, social topics or things like that. We know ultimately the way that we stay in alignment with what our highest and truest purpose on this planet is to be of service to you guys. And once you are motivated and you're educated and you're into action, being of service to your customers, well, that's just essentially carrying the ball down the field a little bit further for us based on our own intentions. You guys get it? That's how this works. We motivate you, we educate you, we get you into action. You then do the same thing for your clients, and then you carry that forward. That's the true magic of the real estate industry. That's the true magic and the blessing that all of us have, being in each other's lives during this very strange, turbulent time in history. But we are all blessed to be here. This is going to be remembered as the greatest time to be in real estate. I'm 100% confident of that because of all the changes. From demographics to the economy to technology, all these things are going to create so many opportunities for those of you who are going to be open-minded and forward-looking. If you need to talk to us about anything at any time, 512-758-0206. 512-758-0206. You have a fantastic day. We'll talk with you on the show tomorrow.
This program has been a presentation by Tim and Julie Harris, Real Estate Coaching. For more information on our real estate coaching and training programs, visit our website at timandjulieharris.com. Remember to tune in weekdays at noon for upcoming shows. And until next time, thank you for listening to Real Estate Coaching Radio with Tim and Julie Harris.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.